You're still watching Kigali Channel 2, and of course, we are together with a Nigerian artist. His name is Chike, and he's familiar with us because this is the second time we're interviewing him. So, Chike, how are you?
I'm all right, my man. I actually remember that the first time you interviewed me, I was in a car too,
And then, like
and
today, you're so still
I
in the
was
car.
out checking a house
Yeah,
site, and that's almost the same thing happening now. I'm about to go check one.
yeah, like it has been like kind of like a year and 3 months, if I remember well, because like I had to check the charts on Skype. Then I remember it was like last year in May.
Yeah, in May. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was in
So,
May.
you good?
I'm all right. I'm chilled, my man.
How is you? How is Nigeria?
Nigeria is good. Nigeria right now, Lagos, a bit cold.
Yeah, the same as yeah. So, anyways, how is because like you released an album which is called The Brothers Keeper. Why the name The Brothers Keeper?
Man, the name The Brothers Keeper is I always tell people is because that's what I am now. That's my new life now. I'm having to live a life that considers others, a life that just not, centered around me, but centered around those who are around me, their own needs, their own perception, you know. So pretty much that's it. That's my new reality. And I was just saying this is who I am while I'm making this album.
So, you used to be the bull of the bullies, and now you're the Brothers
Yes, I
Keeper.
used to be. Yes, yes, now I am.
So, what should the audience expect from this album, even though it's out, but still, and to somebody who hasn't heard about the album, what can they expect when they hear it right now?
Okay. To somebody who hasn't heard about the album, so right now, open your ears, hear about the album. So, I would say I'm foremost a singer, so definitely pristine music. There's a lot of emotions in there. There's a lot of stories about life, love, loss. And that's what my music is centered around generally. There's even a song on the album where I talk about not advising somebody who's in love, because I made a tweet like that yesterday. Because at the end, when they want to settle with their lover, they're gonna tell the lover everything you told them. So it's just life to me. When I make music, I think life. So as far as you're living and you've had experiences, trust me, I'm sure there's going to be a song on the album that's just tailored right for you.
Okay. So, what inspired the creativity of the album, like the process to create that album?
I always look around, man. I always look around me and ask myself what's happening. you know um Sometimes I even sing conversations I've had with people, and by the time I'm done recording them, I just realize I can't put this out because that's literally like sharing a private conversation.
Yeah.
So I always think life always inspires me. When I hear about people's relationships with both human beings, with their pets, the kind of confrontations they have, I'm always thinking music. I'm just being very, very honest with you. I'm always thinking how I can put that together as a story that is entertaining enough, to be sang about. That doesn't mean you shouldn't tell me what your problems are or give me ideas of anything you're going through. It doesn't mean I'm going to sing about it. I'm just
You,
saying,
I
you
know,
might just
like that's even
inspire me
like you
to do
could
something.
compose a song about it.
hmm
So, which producers worked on that album?
There's a total of six producers. There was Idiaso, who's my in-house producer, who's my bass producer.
Okay.
There's Lauda, that was Killer Tunes, that was Mastercraft, that was Lord Sky.
Yeah.
Oh, it's remaining one.
Your main
And
one.
that was yeah, I keep forgetting. I hope he doesn't watch this interview and I forget him on the interview. That's just not gonna be nice. And there's Echo.
Ah, okay. So, anyways, how long did it take to produce the whole album?
I would say more than 3 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, because I would say that the answer for that is two. There are two answers to that question, being that, the oldest song on the album is probably like 5 years old. The first time it was recorded, but by the time earlier this year we settled in, we knew we had to put an album this year because we already announced the album last year and it wasn't even ready.
Okay.
So I could say that I entered recording mode earlier this year and just started churning it out, and we selected it and moved. So there are two dates. There are two times. There's a
Okay.
span of a year, and there's a span of 4 years because the oldest song
That's-
of the album is about 4 years old.
Okay. So, what artist, like, why did you choose the artist that you collaborated with, and how did you choose them?
For us, we always try to make sure that the collaborations elevate the music. That is the base the bass requirement. And also, apart from collaboration elevating the music, you also have to choose, people who you can easily have access to and easily work with, and that's very, very important. People you can always call up and be like, hey, where you at? Please, I need us to make this change. Oh, I want us to do this. So those were the main criteria, pretty much.
Okay, so like normally when an artist releases an album, they always have something in mind, like the next album. So who can like we expect to collaborate with in the future?
Man, I would tell you I'm not thinking the next album now, because if I think the next album is gonna distract me from marketing or pushing or exposing this album to people. Yes, I have thought about the next album, but I try
Okay.
not to think about it because this one's barely a month. In fact, today, oh wow, today makes it a month.
Yeah.
Today actually makes it a month, or no, 2 days ago makes it a month that the album was out.
So and who are the dream collaborators that you want to feature in your career?
I wouldn't say dream now, but I've said in many interviews, I've definitely fancied working with Zuchu. I know she's from Tanzania.
Tanzania, yeah. East Africa.
But if I say the biggest dream I have is to work with Passenger, and funny enough, he just responded to my message. I've messaged him for the past 4 years,
Combs, yeah,
tagged
that's
him and
nice.
stuff, but he only responded like 4 days ago, and I was like, when something just happens and you realize that you can also be a fanboy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I don't even know to say what I was, but I was something that I'm usually not.
Okay. What are the takeaways that your fans, like you want your fans or your listeners to get from this particular album?
Um, to be honest, for me, it's feelings. I want them to feel different things. I want them to feel love. I want them to feel pain. I want them to feel patience, because I talk about patience. I want them to feel like I'm talking about a story they've heard before, or a story that's happened to them. For me, it's more about your feeling and your experience. I just want them to relieve whatever experience they've had through my music. That's always the aim for me. And I genuinely hope that they do.
Yeah, okay. So, and do you have any favorite song of that the particular album that you just released?
No, I don't have. I'm gonna give you the answer I always give everyone who asks me if I have a favorite song. I say that you don't ask a mother to pick a favorite child. So I created all the songs, and I want you to hear all of them. If you have a favorite, I can also say, based on the reactions, I could tell that songs like On the Moon,
Okay.
Spell, Please, those are favorites. Hard to Find with Flavor, based on the numbers.
Or like
But
on
that
the
doesn't
numbers
mean
of
they're
like
my
whatever people are
favorites.
putting out there, the challenges that you're getting, and the comments to fans and everything else. So like those are the ones that you can pick as the people's favorite, right? Like Spell, on the Moon, and so many songs like those are the what they love. But still, let's go into
Yeah,
details.
what it seems like people are gravitating to.
So let's go to details. Is On the Moon a true story?
On the moon is a feeling. It's literally just me saying that this is how I feel. I feel like I'm on the moon. I feel like everything is working for me. I feel like, oh, so I'm gonna dance now. So that's what I'm talking about there. And I felt like that a couple of times, even while recording the album. And when I heard the beats, that's the same feeling I had, and I just jumped on it. So yes, it's a true story. I felt like that before.
Yeah, okay. So we just know that if someone releases an album, they're also planning towards to get to see the fans out of Nigeria. Do you plan to do any soon?
Do I plan to do what?
Touring.
Yes, I definitely have to. But I know that's gonna happen towards the end of the year, like maybe December or late November and earlier next year. I know there've been calls for Kenya, Tanzania. There've been calls for Rwanda too. I don't know. I don't know, because I'm not on that front of my career. I'm just literally in the studio. But I hear them discuss things, and these are the discussions I've been able to eavesdrop.
Yeah. So, and what can the fans expect? Like the Rwandan fans, let me talk about my people. Like, what can you tell them?
So one thing is, I definitely want to visit Rwanda. Like I said, I've heard a couple of shows come up. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't come through, But I'm sure my guys are working hard to make sure they find a common ground. I definitely want to come to Rwanda because for an artist, one of the best experience you can have is meeting those who listen to your music. Meeting the listeners, meeting the fans. So that's one thing. That's one dream I'm looking forward to. Now, even if I don't come to Rwanda for music reasons, I'm definitely visiting Rwanda just for holidays because you guys, I think they want to sponsor for my club, for my
Yeah.
favorite club, Arsenal.
Oh, okay. I get it. So anyways, Chike, thank you so much for being with us, for taking your time to be
Thank you,
with
my
us.
man.
And we
Thank you so
thank
much.
you. You're welcome.
And hopefully the next interview won't happen in the car. It will happen in the jet or something. I don't know.
Probably. or maybe in person while you're here.
Yeah, how about that? That's
Yeah,
correct.
like the one. So Chike, thank you so much for taking time to be with us. And of
Thank you
course,
so much, my man. God bless you.
yeah, you're still watching Beats and Sound. So let's watch Chike's song. And of course, the show still continues.